Mike! I found the chocolate pudding!
Good morning, Vietnam! You are a toy!
My sons were better men.
She wouldn't even harm a fly.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
What's happening, Rubius?
He's Mike.
He's Lando.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Alright, on this episode, we're talking Stranger Things.
and he means the show.
Oh, that's what you meant by this? I had my ball gag out there, so I was just going to put that away.
Do you own a ball gag?
Don't ask questions.
Anyways, Netflix dropped original series Stranger Things last week. If you haven't had the chance to check it out yet, I definitely recommend going and getting a subscription if you don't have one, and it's pretty much worth the subscription alone.
What is it? Didn't they up it to like $10 a month now or something?
Yeah, but you're going to supposedly get more features or something like that. I don't know. I just clicked okay.
Yeah,
when that popped up.
So yeah, Stranger Things kind of came out of nowhere. You didn't really hear much about it until you're like, oh shit, what's this new
I
show
remember
that dropped?
I was sitting at work, and you know when you get like the notifications for new things, well, I follow like the Netflix shit.
Yeah.
And it said new Netflix trailer, so I went and checked it out, and it was Stranger Things, and I'm like, oh, this comes out this week. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. And then I binged it that night it came out.
Yeah.
It's only 8 episodes.
I was gonna say it's a quick season. It's only 8 episodes. You can just bang it out.
Yeah.
What were your first thoughts going into it?
I thought it was gonna be scarier than
Uh-huh.
it was because its name is Stranger Things, and there's really only 2 strange things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but going into it, I was like, oh wow, really, Winona Ryder, huh?
Yeah.
But I guess she's like a producer, and you know, came up with it and stuff like that. Well, helped come up with it. But I don't know, man. When at first glance, you don't really know what to pick up just based on the trailer.
Yeah, at the trailer isn't what sold me. What sold me was that first 30 seconds of the doctor running in the hallway in the very first episode, and that thing, something's chasing him and you don't know what it is. It kind of just sets the pace and the mood.
It was definitely Stranger.
Yeah, so it sets the pace and the mood, and
Definitely lets you know what you're in for with the show. Let's talk about the cast. Basically, there are only 2 real names in this show that are known: Winona Ryder and David Harbour, who I've been saying for a long time. This guy is super fucking good, and just he's always like in those bit roles in a movie. Like he's in Black Mask and he's a side character. Like this guy deserves a leading role, and they finally give it to him in this show, and he just kills it. But then you got the show is basically the main characters are a bunch of kids. One of them is this girl with telepathic powers named 11. They call her Elle, played by Millie Brown. And she's basically going along with 4 young boys who I forget their names, but she was the breakout for the kids.
The 4 kids are just so on. This is probably like their first roles.
Yeah.
If I recall. They're just so young, but actually they did a fantastic job.
Yeah. Basically, so Stranger Things revolves around a young boy's disappearance and his mother trying to find him. His mother is Winona Ryder. She plays Joyce. And basically, as she starts trying to unravel the mystery behind her son's disappearance, the town itself starts to uncover all these
strange things.
I didn't want you to do it. I saw you creeping in. I didn't want you to do it, but you did it. Damn good for you.
Yeah, I get a gold star.
You get a gold star for that. But yeah, so strange things start happening, and basically David Harbour plays Chief Hopper.
And then they get stranger.
Knock it out. And it's up to the boys to find their missing friend, Will, and with
Will's,
the help of 11.
Will's the strangest thing. I don't know.
Okay. Will's older brother, played by Charlie
Strange.
Heaton.
He's strange.
Jonathan, teams up with one of the main younger kids, Mike, his older sister in the show, Nancy, played by Natalie Dyer. And it's basically 3 separate storylines. You got Winona Ryder and Chief Hopper. So those 2 are working together to find out what happened to Will. Natalie Dyer and Charlie Heaton are trying to figure out what happened to Nancy's friend, Barb, and also Will, because Charlie Heaton plays Will's older brother. And then the kids are trying to figure out what's wrong with Eleven, where did she come from, and what happened to their friend Will. So it all centers around this boy Will's disappearance coming from a government facility. Mm-hmm. First thoughts on the show when you started watching it. What'd you think of the cast, like the ensemble they put together?
The cast was so unknown. I didn't know what to expect. When you cast kids, it's tough sometimes.
Oh, it's
because
real tough.
Kids are just hard to direct. You don't really know.
You remember Super 8?
Right, it's hard to portray to them what you want exactly.
Mm. People have been saying, "Oh, this movie feels like E.T., like Steven Spielberg." Yes, no. This movie feels exactly like Goonies meets Super 8 meets.
That's a good way to
I've
explain it.
never heard anybody use the term Super 8, and it's blowing my mind that they didn't pull that comparison. Mm-hmm. This is a hard turn on basically a similar premise from Super 8.
Yeah.
You know? Did you like... What'd you think of Winona Ryder? She's been out of the limelight for a while.
I thought she was great. She gave me that concerned mother who's just going insane because she can't find her kid.
I thought at a little time she was too choppy. You know how she was like, I need to find my... But I get she's distraught for her son. I didn't think she was a right choice until there's a scene when she sees something coming out of her wall. She runs out of the house, and then she goes and grabs an axe. And at this point, her son's already missing. And she sits down on the couch in front of where she saw the thing coming out of the wall. And she just sits there holding the axe, waiting. She's got this fucking look in her eyes. Like, you've got my son. I'm going to fucking kill you. And I was like, that's why they cast her. Like, that is perfect.
Yeah. Who was your favorite out of the entire cast, though?
Out of the entire cast, David Harbour. Chief Hopper.
Yeah.
All day. I like the kids a lot. 11 was my favorite. They start explaining Chief Hopper's backstory, and you're just like, that's why he's like this. Okay, so it's like he's a really good character, especially with all the stuff he goes through to sit there and try to save this kid.
My favorite's Dustin.
Dustin?
Too funny, man. He added another element to the show that couldn't be replaced. That humorous, but yet still loving, I'm your best friend, but smart ass element that I don't think anyone else in the show...
Reminds me a lot of you.
Damn straight. That no one else in the show really... Because there wasn't any other smart-ass, funny...
nobody
people.
else in the show was funny.
So without that
kids.
kid being that, you're missing an element.
Did you like the teenagers, Jonathan and Nancy? Did you like them?
Out of the three main storylines you were talking about earlier of the mother... Hopper, the kids, and the teenagers, those three. The teenagers I liked the least.
They were the weakest.
They were the weakest out of the three.
They had one of the best scenes in the show, in the final episode.
Being...
the final showdown between them and the...
Oh, yes. That
creature.
was cool.
But that love story subplot was easily the weakest thing going in the show. And it doesn't even pan out.
No.
Like, you can tell they're probably going to set up for season 2. Which was just announced, 2 days ago? That they're going to do season 2. I mean, this has been like Netflix's... This has been as big, if not bigger, than like their Marvel premieres.
This has been their sleeper hit of the year. I
mean, everybody's talking about it right now.
Right.
If you haven't seen it, go get a Netflix subscription. I like the kids the best, but Chief Hopper, he was my favorite character of the show. I definitely think they should have shown more with Elle.
Yeah, maybe.
They do flashbacks throughout the series, and it's explaining what happened with her. She was tested on. Did you find it a little weak that her backstory of why she has telepathic powers is that her mother was experimented with LSD while pregnant?
Yeah, that was a little weird. That suspension of disbelief is like, really? That's how she got it?
Yeah. And then, out of nowhere, Matthew Modine is like this fucking villain who's like Elle's papa, but not really her papa.
Yeah. Then they don't really. Then her powers just get so like turned up to 10.
Yeah, it's
like
11.
Quick.
They go to 11. To 11.
Just really like quick, like just like that.
Yeah, it only happens in like what you see it happen twice.
Right, like toward like the 7th or 8th episode.
Every other time puts her in like a coma, and then this time she does that. But overall thoughts on the series?
Overall, go check it out. It's great.
Get a Netflix subscription for sure, definitely. If you had to say, how'd the creature pay out for you?
The creature looked weird at first. It's like a
plant thing.
Right, it's like a plant, humanoid-looking thing. So, I mean...
It wasn't very scary.
What was their budget on it? It was in like a pretty low budget TV series, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect it to be.
The coolest thing about it is that every episode feels exactly the same, so it's not like a different tone in each episode like a lot of shows do. Every episode feels like a direct continuation, it's one big film, I would say.
Right, it's like an 8-hour film.
Yeah, that they broke down. And the score killed it. Mm-hmm. This is one of the best scored...
They actually just released a Stranger
the
Things
soundtrack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the best scored television series I've ever seen.
And what was the song that the kid kept singing?
Should I stay or should I go? Yep.
The
They hear that coming through. Just the way they put the music to it, it's like this symphonic beat, almost like the like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool the way it plays up as you know something is going to happen. It gets louder, and then it'll just drop, and you're supposed to think, oh, it's okay, and it could be not.
Mm-hmm.
They did it really well. The title sequence is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a neon sign. Stranger Things, really cool. High points for the show.
the kids,
Yeah,
and probably, like you said, Hopper. Just the acting was really well done, and the score, like we just finished saying.
Yeah.
But it added that extra element of suspense and or comedy and or whatever they needed in that situation.
Yeah,
The music brought it home.
the setting and the tone for me.
Right.
Definitely the setting. It's cool seeing like in the 80s and stuff like that, and it felt so realistic, like the way they're dressed, their hairstyles, the things they would say.
The tone, you're definitely spot on with the tone. The tone
Yeah.
they did perfectly.
Yeah. I'm really excited for season 2 on this. Mm-hmm. Do you have any lows?
For me, the only real low I can think of was that romantic love story between the teens.
Yeah. I didn't like... They kind of discard one character and nobody really cares what happens to her.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, okay, that wasn't really fished out.
Important.
Yeah, like, that wasn't played out at all.
Like, yeah, don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
they don't care. No, we don't care. But your overall rating, go check it out on Netflix.
Overall, go check it out. It's totally worth the... I mean, it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
It's just 8 episodes.
You can get this done in
Go
a
bang
day.
them out, and
Yeah.
it's so
And still have
rewarding.
most of your day. Like,
Right.
You can get this done.
It's super rewarding at the end.
I agree. Definitely.
Right. Like, super excited for the next season that comes out.
Did you like how they left it off?
Yeah, it's open-ended. It's
Yeah.
open. You don't know what happened.
They did a nice thing where they tie off the loose ends that the series starts off, and then they drop like two new ones.
It's tied off, but it's open.
Yes. And I think that's why, even the director, he was like, this is going to be a direct sequel to what just happened.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy about. If they had changed the story and was just like, oh, Stranger Things, we're going to do basically what Cloverfield is doing and just do another story, I'd be pissed. I'd feel gypped out, just like I did with Cloverfield. Like, I don't care about another story. I want to continue the one we had because it was so good. Mm-hmm. You know? But Stranger Things, go check it out on Netflix. It's definitely worth the watch. All right, reviewers, as always,
He is Michael.
and he's Lando. Keep it tight, people.